everybody. Welcome to the Hallmarkies podcast. And we are really excited today. We are here talking Once Upon an Upside. We're talking about UpTV. And we really just especially liked one movie. So we decided to do a recap of it. It's going to be fun. But this is our 40th episode, Once Upon an Upside. So we had 40 episodes talking UpTV, which is pretty cool, I think. Oh, on the podcast. That's nothing to sneeze at. Yeah, 40 episodes, pretty good. But I'm Film Critic Rachel Wagner, and Bree's here.
Hello, everybody.
And Natasha's here.
Hello.
How's it going?
Okay, I just have to ask, because we did the thing, ladies. Like, we watched for the majority most of these movies.
Yes.
And okay, what is y'all's like overall thoughts on the lineup? Because I think UpTV has a lot of potential, like, to be great. I'll be honest. Like, their storylines aren't always like super basic. Like, they come up with these premises that I feel like you aren't going to see on Hallmark. You may see on Lifetime, but may not. Like, I feel like their demographic is like those 20 somethings, early 30s. And I'm like, people, go watch these movies. But I feel like the beginning started off strong for me. And then we got the second half, and
but
we
I would
had
say,
like one gem.
Yeah, I would say that was the true with most of the networks, though. Definitely with Lifetime, they started off very, very strong. And then the last month, Holiday Dating Guide took me to a dark place. I hated that movie so much.
Yeah.
No offense to anybody involved, just my personal taste. I didn't care for it. But yeah, I mean, I just feel like with for me, there were like 3, I think, that I missed that I didn't finish. But for me, there's like Santa's Got Style, which is the one we're going to talk about. And then like, that's like top of them. And then everything else is way down below. I thought it was by far the best thing that they made. Like, to me, at least, nothing else was close.
Yeah.
Yeah. I actually agree with Rachel. I'm sorry.
No, I wanted to know, like, well, because we watched for the most part all of them, I think, between all 3 of us. So what did you think, Tosh? You felt the same? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right in the sense that I think the storylines actually try to be a little bit different, and some of it is quite interesting. I think sometimes the problem is the chemistry, I guess, between the actors, the conflict. I think they haven't mastered that yet. So I think that's the problem. Is like they kind of get these good looking people, and they get them there, and then sometimes it doesn't work in terms of chemistry, or sometimes the conflict is so bizarre and you can't, you just can't root for them, right? So I think I I don't know, I think that's the problem, and that's what Santa Got Style is different from all the rest. Like, it has everything that you need in a Christmas movie. So I think when we did it previously with Rachel, I think I liked Tiny Home Christmas.
I love Tiny Home.
Yeah, that was good, I think. I think the leads make it compelling. Like, they have to have, I mean, I think the storylines or the script can be quite standard or quite vanilla, but it's how they kind of make it funny, or even the side characters as well. Yeah, so I think
if I was gonna rank them, I would have Santa's Got Style, then probably The Christmas Retreat would actually probably be my second.
Oh yeah,
that one was solid, and then A Tiny Home Christmas. There were a couple that I thought the leads were actually pretty good, but you could tell they like had no budget. I mean, they were all filmed in like one apartment. But for me, like The Snowball Effect, I actually like both those leads quite a bit. I thought I'd be interested in seeing what they do in other stuff. And then I also thought the leads were pretty good in An Eclectic Christmas. It just, like, the story wasn't that great, and she was kind of unlikable, but I would see them both in something else. I thought that so yeah, but I would definitely say that those 3, Santa's Got Style, the Holiday Retreat, Christmas Retreat, and A Tiny Home Christmas, I think those were the 3 best ones.
Oh my
Yeah, I
God,
agree.
Rachel, we are in sync.
Yeah, I agree. I think the very first one,
Completely.
because I didn't
Yeah.
join you all on the November wrap. The very first Up
Yeah.
TV premiere I thought was awful. I was like, how is this the first? And it was awful just because the main female lead, like talking about chemistry, I was just like, everything is happening around her and she's just like head in the clouds, naive. Like it just did not work. So I was so nervous. But then we got the Christmas retreat and Tiny Home Christmas. And I was like, okay, it's picking up. So yeah, I
Now,
watched
I
the
had
Snowball Effect yesterday. I liked it.
Yeah, it
The
was
Snowball
decent.
Effect.
It was, again, it felt like it was all filmed. Felt almost like a student film, like as far as the budget, which is fine, but I don't know. What do you think of Sappy Holiday? I heard a few people like that on Twitter. I didn't get to watch it. I haven't seen it yet. Any good?
I skimmed it yesterday.
Okay.
Because did you all watch the one where they get stuck in the wild, Christmas in the Wild
Oh,
or
Christmas in the
whatever?
Wilds. Yeah.
It kind of felt like that because she keeps getting stuck on the side of the road. I don't know if she's hitting a piece of black ice or whatever. But yeah, from what I skimmed and saw, I liked it. Was one of those ones though, Rachel, where she's in a relationship with somebody else.
Yeah, I hate that.
We're not gonna. And he's a doctor and he's busy and he comes from a very formal, boring family. And yeah, so
yeah, I think I'm trying to think why exactly Santa's Got Style worked so well more than the others. I think that it's like inherently silly from the get-go. And so you just have to kind of go with it, like it's, if you're like looking for realism, this is not the movie for you. So it just kind of starts out being fun. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's the difference. Everyone committed to the bit.
Yeah.
Right? Like even the security guard, what's his name? Adam.
He's the best.
he was the most ridiculous character, and he committed every single time, and he made me laugh. I was like, this guy is so over the top. So I think even like what was his name, Paul Grant, like even the side
I loved him.
people,
He was funny.
yeah, and he was like, oh, take that down for the memoir. It's I don't know, it's like it's funny, like so everybody was like memorable. So I think that's what made it stand out.
Ho, ho, ho. We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies Patreon.
Do you love Hallmarkies podcast, especially at Christmas?
Do you enjoy the holiday previews, recaps, interviews, and bonus episodes?
If the answer is yes, please consider supporting the Hallmarkies Patreon. We need your help to do what we do both during the Christmas season and all year round.
But not only do you help a podcast led by strong, independent women by becoming a Patreon, you get to become a part of the Hallmarkies family.
Starting at only $2 a month as a patron, you will have access to our Facebook Patreon group where we talk about the movies, shows, and more all year.
We also have many monthly patron watch-alongs with guests like Lacey Chabert, Natalie Hall, Paul Campbell, Mary Lou Henner, and more, giving their behind-the-scenes details of their films.
As a patron, you also have the chance to provide input into the podcast and even join us at different tiers.
So this Christmas season, spread some cheer to the Hallmarkies Patreon and become a member today. You won't regret it.
Go to patreon.com/Hallmarkies to learn more.
That's patreon.com/Hallmarkies.
Why do you think it worked, Bree? Overall.
Besides the fact that Catherine and Franco are both gorgeous people to look at, and we got them in one film. I think it's most memorable. It's memorable because, like you said, everybody stood out and was memorable. But also, like, I remember watching it and being like, are they insulting our intelligence here? Because how does she not recognize him? And I think that sticks with you. It's like,
but even his own mother at first doesn't recognize him. And then she like, oh, that's you.
So you, like you said, you have to just stick with it and roll with it. Like I rolled my eyes so hard at first. I'm like, you literally just said he's one of your favorite people in the world, but you can't recognize him with a fake beard and a wig. But you just have to stick with it. You just
Yeah.
have
No,
to stick with it.
honestly, I believe that this is plausible because I think I looked at like old photos of my husband and I didn't know it was my husband. So I think it's possible. I think if he had like a beard and like looking stylish, I think I might not
Yeah.
know who he is. I don't know. Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
he does look different. I don't know. If you put a beard on someone, they can look different.
Yeah. I think
I
especially
don't-
because he did the gray. He
Yeah,
did the
but-
gray.
Yeah. Yeah,
But-
I don't know.
Like I said, his own mother at first just like, oh, that's you.
She
Who
was
gave
ogling
birth to
him. She was ogling him. She's like, damn, this Santa is sexy. She's like, oh, it's my son. Oh, PG.
Oh,
So
gosh.
this movie, the little summary is follows Madison, a department store executive who takes the idea to hire a young Santa with fashionable style instead of a classic one, but she can't find the right model until her best friend Ethan decides to be the Santa of her dreams.
Didn't we all say that this would be good from the
Yes.
previews?
Yeah,
The
right?
Santa of her dreams.
We have great taste.
We all have Santas of our dreams, right?
Yeah.
Monkey Santa, I guess.
So he's like madly in love. Like, how can you not? I mean, she totally friend zoned him, but he is
Yeah.
like so obviously crazy about her.
Yeah, like Anne and I were watching this right around the same time, so we kind of were like chatting back and forth, and we're just like, how could you possibly friend zone Franco? Like, I mean, how?
That's
I mean, even more
literally
than
what
falling
I
in love
wrote.
with Style and Santa, how could you just friend zone like the
He's
perfect
right.
man? That's part of the kind of the fun of it. It's funny because like I watch all these like Oscar films and all this serious stuff, and those are good and fine, but like I got so much pleasure out of this really silly movie. So I guess that says something about me.
Did we ever get like why I mean, I can't remember.
They
like
kind of say at the end that she'd just gotten kind of used to him, that she just, I mean, I guess you do kind of sometimes takes things for granted, but and he hadn't like actually told her.
Yeah.
you hadn't. Yeah.
I
And
think
I
it's
guess she had been
also-
in a relationship. It sounded like a long-term relationship.
Yeah.
Then that guy dumped her at her Christmas party, and it had only been a year since then. So that's also probably part of it.
Mm.
Yeah,
okay.
I thought it was maybe because they grew up together. Maybe he was like, kind of geeky. I mean, his real personality is that he's kind of nerdy and a bit of a geek, right? So maybe they were just like, I don't know. She hadn't seen his appeal yet. He hadn't like hit puberty.
Well, this is interesting to me. Of the main tropes, you have like enemies to lovers, you have friends to lovers, you have forced proximity, things like that. The fake engagements. What is your favorite of those groups? What do you think, Bree, of the tropes?
I think second chance and friends to lovers. That's why with this one I was like, usually it's like, oh, I don't want us to ruin our friendship. And I was like, we never get a reason why she's just like, you're my friend and that's it.
Well, and I think at the end we'll talk about it, but when everybody is finally telling her like, you had this person who was willing to do this thing for you.
Yes.
And that's when she finally realizes that he's always been there for her. And I mean, I do love, I think probably Friends to Lovers is my favorite. I mean, Enemies to Lovers is very hit and miss to me. Like, obviously it can be great. I love Pride and Prejudice. But then there's so many ones where the characters just don't end up being likable and I don't care.
Okay, that's how I felt with Snowball Effect yesterday, Rachel. I was like, she has taken so many jabs at this poor dude and he's just taking it and taking. I mean, I feel like they were more rivals to lovers. I feel like she was the only enemy in the situation.
What about you, Natasha? What's your favorite of the tropes?
Oh, I like fake dating.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
I don't know. Like
Yes.
I like the point when they start to realize that they like each other for real. That's like
Mhm.
magic. And then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, and they're like, oh, and I don't know. It's nice. Yeah,
Yeah.
I love fake
Yeah.
dating. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did
like
we have a fake dating at all in the holiday lineup?
You mean for Up TV or just in general?
Up TV, Lifetime, Hallmark, anything? I feel like they don't really use that a
There
lot.
was. I'm just trying to now. My mind's gone blank. I know there was, but I'm trying to remember.
We need more fake dating
Yeah.
on the Hallmark verse.
Yeah. What?
I
think
don't
I
know.
know
I
there
don't
was one,
remember
but
one.
I can't think of it. Was there one? I'm just looking at Up TV movies. I don't think there was one on Up TV.
Yeah. I don't think for Up TV, no. I don't think there was.
I
Yeah,
don't remember seeing. Was there? I
do.
don't know. I feel like there was a lot of chef romances this year. A lot of foodies.
None of them were good.
Lots
None
of
of the
food,
food
yeah.
movies were good.
Oh man,
Let's
Christmas
see.
on the Slopes.
Yeah,
No.
that one was disappointing. I like Olivier so much.
But guys, were we not suspected? Like we were suspicious of that one from the beginning. Remember, like when we did the preview, we were like, "How's this gonna work?"
Oh yeah,
yeah, because it didn't make any sense if she's a celebrity chef. So let's see. Well, Inventing the Christmas Prince, that was kind of fake dating.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't know. Whoever from Hallmark is listening, Up TV, Lifetime, give us some more fake dating in 2023's lineup.
Hashtag Xmas, that was kind of fake dating.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I
Yeah.
think that's it.
They really leaned into like workplace, HOA, chef.
Yeah. They had some bonkers on Hallmark. I mean, the most colorful time of the year with the magic glasses was.
I did not even watch that. I was like, no.
In A Fabled Holiday. It was so bad. But
hey, this is Jen Johans, host of the podcast Watch with Jen, which delivers a steady stream of great movie recommendations, thoughtful career deep dives, and first-rate conversations with film critics, authors, actors, journalists, filmmakers, and more. You can find Watch with Jen wherever you get your podcasts or hear us first at our Patreon at patreon.com/filmintuition.
let's talk about Santa's Got Style.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically your setup is that she needs a new idea for this designer. They're looking for new promotional, and like I think you could get drunk if you took a shot every time they said viral.
I don't think they understand how viral works. Like,
it's not that easy.
Yeah, I'm just like, you just posted it 1 second ago. How is it viral? Like,
there's this thing called algorithm, and it does not work in everybody's favor.
No. But she develops this whole idea of a style in Santa, and I was impressed with the number of Santas that they got at the audition. I mean, they had a lot. They got a lot in this.
Oh.
Where's this supposed to take place in?
I have no idea.
on a studio.
I couldn't tell if it was a small town. I couldn't tell if it was like a small city. I was like, where are we?
Yeah. So she has this best friend that named Ethan, who is a former model / basically like casting guy, kind of now, photographer. And he's up doing the Santa search for this new promotion. And like you said, Adam, the security guard, was the highlight of one of the highlights. He was Brian Sills. He's one of the wins out of, if I was going to say wins out of 2022 Christmas season, Brian Stills would be up there because he was really funny in this, and he was really good in Reindeer Games Homecoming
That was
on
him.
Lifetime.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Yes. He was the best.
I could have had a whole movie just about him. Security guard. Adam. He was really funny. He's a genius of security.
Yeah.
Wait, I have a question for you guys. Do you think
Uh-huh.
that he liked her?
No, I never got those vibes.
Mm-mm.
No,
I feel
it
like
was
he
weird
represented us.
though. No, but I don't know. At the end, I guess when we get there, we'll talk about it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess because I'm used to him, I have to admit, I'm used to him playing gay characters. So maybe it didn't even cross my mind that he would like her.
Yeah.
But you know, he was very protective of her. So I guess I can see that.
Yeah,
And
it was just so cool to see him go from like just doing his security duties and being very serious about it to then I was like, he is representing me right now because I'm like, how something's not adding up here.
Yeah.
And he is going to get to the bottom.
the one thing I, in general, loved her clothes in this
Oh,
movie, and Catherine
yes.
Davis, she's absolutely gorgeous. But I prefer her with the curly hair, just than the flat
Oh
hair.
yeah.
Personally. But I mean, she's gorgeous, and I just love her so much. She is great. She hasn't missed for me in any of her movies. I love Christmas on Fifth Avenue last year. It's one of my all-time favorites. And then I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed 6 Degrees of Santa that she did on Lifetime this year. And then she had another one called Planes, Trains, and Christmas Trees with Olivier that for some reason didn't get picked up by anybody, which is so weird.
Oh,
I don't know why. Like I was able to get a link and watch it, and it's not like the greatest, but it's a lot better than a lot of the ones that got picked up.
Wow.
I don't understand what happened.
wow. Okay.
Yeah, but she's wonderful. I really think she's like born for this genre.
I mean,
Rom-coms.
Hallmark, snatch her up already. Jeez.
Well, and she's gonna be in one on Hallmark in February, a Valentine's movie.
Oh, nice,
So I'm
nice,
so
nice.
excited for her.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
So yes, we start out with Ethan that he's talking with his friend, and the guy says the friend zone is killing you. And we all agree. I mean, he's so charming, he's so nice, so great. You're just thinking, how could she possibly friend zone this guy?
Yeah. Make it make sense. It doesn't.
What did you think of Style and Santa? Would you want to go and get shopping advice from Style and Santa?
No, but I would want to take a picture with him. I'm basically that woman who says, "I want you." Remember?
Yeah.
That's
Well,
me.
They were going to, I guess originally it was going to be like a Mrs. Doubtfire thing with like prosthetics and stuff like that, but then they just ended up going for just the beard. I mean, it's ridiculous. Of course you would recognize your loved one if all they had different was a beard. But I don't know, in some ways I thought that was kind of funny.
Yeah. It's you
Bree's not convinced about the beard.
Yeah.
You got to stretch belief a little bit because it is Franco, okay? And that voice when he starts talking, I'm like, come on. But
But he did
once you get
try to
past it,
like switch it up, right? Come on, he was like he was doing the sexy thing as Rev, and then like
Yeah.
hiya, as Ethan. I don't know. He tried.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
man, yeah.
she has a boyfriend wish list. She
Mhm.
wants the guy to be honest, thoughtful, focused on the relationship, confident, and creative. But then she wants that also for Style and Santa.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know why Style and Santa needs to be thoughtful and creative. I don't know where that really, I guess maybe thoughtful in the gift recommendations that he gives to people, maybe.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, maybe she came unprepared. So she was like, oh, I always have this list on my phone of my boyfriend wish list. So I'll use this. I was like, is she unprepared or are they the same thing?
She was trying to kill two birds with one stone. So she's
Yeah.
like, I want a boyfriend. I need a Santa. Let's find two in one.
Yes.
But I did love the designer guy. I forget his name.
Yes,
But
Paul
he was
Grant.
really
Yeah.
funny. Yeah. And
Yeah.
he's like, trending is always the trend. Put that down in my memoir. That's funny. It was good. It was good. And and so he decides, after trying to find this perfect styling Santa, he decides that with sort of the encouragement of his friend, just to be styling Santa, and this is your chance for her to see you in a different light.
Yeah.
And and then that if he's styling Santa, he gets to pretend to be someone else. And he comes up with the name Rafe Holyfield. Yeah, I mean, it's a funny idea, I guess, to have like a more adult idea of like as opposed to like Santa's usually there to entertain the kids. This is a Santa that's there for the adult women.
Yeah.
There's something to that, I think. And I did really like when Adam is interrogating Rafe. It was really funny. He's like, I don't trust you.
Yeah.
And Ethan says that Rafe is his cousin.
Cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
From somewhere overseas.
Austria.
Yeah.
Austria. And then that starts to get messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I liked when he said, I don't want to deceive her. I want to date her.
Oh yeah, that's cute. That was so cute.
It was so good. I mean, I of course he's my favorite and well suited for Christmas. That was my favorite Christmas movie this year of the year. I loved that. But yeah, Franco was really winning for me this year in Christmas. It's another win. I thought he's great. He's so handsome, of course, but it's not just the handsome. He's also really charming, I think.
Yeah.
Why
He's very
isn't he a
charismatic.
Hallmark
Yeah.
hunk?
He needs to
be
be.
a Hallmark hunk already.
Yeah. Yeah.
My goodness. It is time for new hunks, you guys. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And then he recites that Style and Santa poem. And this is when this is when we get the best scene of probably the whole movie was Adam with this he's like interrogating, and then he gets the call that the pandoms are in pandemonium. That was really funny.
Oh my god, all these little calls were really funny.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I think there was some like Chihuahua thing also. Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
good.
Pandoms are pandemonium. She claims that Ethan is one of her favorite people, but it does feel like she also ignores him and doesn't have the gratitude that she should have. So is he really one of her favorite people? It's a little weird.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was like, you're not really a good friend.
Yeah. And it's true that she doesn't ever have that moment of like, it's going to ruin the friendship kind of a thing. You don't really have that going on, which usually you have with friends to lovers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure sometimes it does take like those external factors to be like, hey, like her assistant was like, what I saw is your best friend showing up to help you out when you really needed it. And I feel like that's what got the ball rolling. And then her mom says something and I'm like, it shouldn't take other people to make you realize like this guy is so good to you, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that
It's
part,
true.
I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
I wish that she would have realized it on her own.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Yeah.
maybe I think what her mom says is accurate, because her mom says that, you know, basically it's a side of him you never got a chance to see before. Because I think with him, he's so goofy. He's so like, you know, hi friend. Like he doesn't actually put the moves on her, you know. So I think sometimes,
didn't.
you know, people want attraction, they want, you know, sizzle.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's what she got with Rav, right? Like that's what she had with him that she never really had with that Ethan dynamic. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. And he
Yeah.
got to be someone he typically isn't, you know. So
And this is where his mom doesn't recognize him. Picture. I'm like, I'm pretty sure your child you'd recognize with a beard.
I love that his mom went along with it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, both of their moms seemed like, why isn't this happen? Like they both seemed for it,
Yeah.
which was
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, like both their moms. And then there's the whole scene where they decide to make it a charity, and then she gets introduced as basically Mrs. Claus for Silent
I
Santa.
loved that moment.
Yeah, that was funny.
Though I found it weird that they were live and the assistant was shouting instructions. I was just like, can't everyone hear what you're saying? Like,
True. That's true.
yeah.
And then they go for drinks, and he says, "Oh, I can't make the party," and she's like shocked, you know, that because he's got this other party, and she says, "Your friendship means a lot to me. It really does." And then she
Right.
asks, "Do you know
Zoned
if Rafe
again.
is single?" Which
Oh,
I just felt him die.
yes.
Oh my
Friend zoned
God.
again.
It's so sad. It was so sad. And she didn't answer his message. Like she was
Yeah.
texting both him and Rafe, right? And she left him on like red. It's so sad. It's so
Just
sad.
not a good friend. I'm sorry.
I love, so then we get the party, and this is the one look I didn't really love. I didn't love her dress in this movie. I mean, this section with the blue with the leopard. It wasn't my favorite.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. But for the most part, she looked great in this movie. And this Adam says that Rafe is a scammer, and he tries to get the fingerprints from Rafe.
Yeah. That was hilarious.
I feel like Adam makes it like part mystery, but like we're all in on it already while he's sleuthing.
Yeah. And then they have a Secret Santa exchange, and Ethan gives her the bracelet. And she's like, "Oh, somebody went over the $20 limit."
Yeah.
And
She obviously didn't. So
no, I forget what her gift was.
a movie, right? A DVD.
Oh,
yeah,
right,
DVD.
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. And then she dances with Rafe. You make everything fun. And they almost have a kiss.
I know. They almost kiss. Because you can't kiss the wrong guy in one of these movies,
No.
right?
No.
Even if it is the right guy.
Yeah.
But she does kiss him, right? Like later on, she does kiss him.
Well, yeah, then and
Oh,
that's when everything
yeah.
kind of explodes.
Yeah.
But then there you have the texting, like you were saying, and she asked Rafe if he got home okay. She doesn't ask Ethan if he got home okay. He's like, "Oh."
So sad. So
So
sad.
heartbreaking.
We'd like to take a second and thank our sponsor for this episode of the podcast. It's the Hallmarkies merch store.
Are you looking for that perfect gift for the postable, hardy, or Hallmarky in your life?
What about getting that t-shirt or hoodie that will help you stand out at your next holiday party?
Now is the time to check out the Hallmarkies merch store.
Full of festive designs by artists like Jessica Miller, Carrie from Hallmark Comics, and more.
You can even have more than just shirts, but totes, cell phone cases, notebooks, mugs, and more.
And it isn't just Hallmark. We have designs for Anna Green Gables, Man from Snowy River, The Nanny, and more.
Every purchase at the merch store goes to help support the podcast and allows us to make the great content you know and love.
There are frequent sales, so go to tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies or see the link in the description.
That's tpublic.com/stores/Hallmarkies.
So he asked her to dinner, but you're right, she never responds. But she asked Rafe to dinner, and then let's see here. Oh, so then we get the fashion show, and I mean, it is amazing he's able to get this beard and everything off so quickly. he changes from Rafe to Ethan. He goes, Ethan, then Rafe, then Ethan, then Rafe. And then that's when everything kind of explodes. But he switches, I think, 4 times.
Yeah. It
Uh,
was a debacle.
Yeah.
That whole scene.
It reminded me of She's the Man.
Yeah.
Right, like that whole like consistent swapping, and like there will be this scenario where both characters have to be there, and then you have all these things, so it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it almost has like a 12th Night kind of a little bit of a vibe of
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Nice.
And then Adam confronts Rafe, after he finds his bag. And then that's when Madison kisses Rafe on stage, and then Adam rips off his beard. He's like, Ethan.
That's what
And
I'm
Adam
saying.
Adam holds up the beard. He's like, victory.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He went to rip off his beard after they kissed.
Yeah.
Like, why? Like, why would he do that? Oh God, I don't know.
And that's when he says, whatever you saw that was so special in Rafe, why didn't you see that in me? Which, like, heart.
Oh gosh.
That was the
I
most
cried.
heartbreaking part.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Bree. Oh yeah, it's
I was
really
like, you're a
sad.
terrible person.
And
Y'all,
she's like,
he
you
acted
lied to me
that
this
moment.
you lied to me
Yeah.
this whole time. You broke my heart. You made me feel like a fool. And and this her friend says, I see a woman who ordered a guy from a wish list, and her best friend cared so much that he did his best to step into the role. Call him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then he says, I'm in love with her and she's just not in love with me, which also heart. Your heart is breaking. And then I think it's her mom who says, he had the best intentions. Ethan has been hiding his feelings for you for a long time. I mean, and that's where it is partly his fault, because he never told her.
He never told her. Yeah.
He never told her. So you never gave him the time of day. He was just the Ethan you grew up with. And that Rafe was just a version of Ethan you never saw.
Yeah.
And that's finally what kind of wins her over. And the final scene was even though it was a fire hazard, I still really enjoyed it.
She's so extra. She's so extra. With the candles and the dress.
All those candles.
I was like, whoa, girl.
He's taking lessons from Jack in When Calls the Heart with candles. Yeah, we always say that Jack and When Calls the Heart cleared out the Bed Bath and Beyond whenever they needed a romantic scene. There's so many candles. But that silver dress was a pretty wow dress, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she finally responded to his text.
She was like, oh no. Oh no.
She not only had like a wow dress, but also really awesome shoes. Red shoes.
Yeah.
She looked great.
Yeah, she looked great.
And the look on his face when he saw her, I was like,
yeah.
Yeah.
You were the one I should have seen. You're my dream guy. And then he says, I never meant to deceive you, but the way you looked at me when I was styling Santa, I wanted that every day. It was really good. Really good.
Stone.
And then she says, I want you, Ethan, every day. And she says, I want you, Ethan. And then he says, every day. Every day.
Every day. Do we believe that these two would stay together?
Yes.
I do.
Yeah, definitely.
Bree, tell us your thoughts. Spill the tea.
That's always my thought. I'm like, would
Well-
these two people stay together? I think they
Well, I always
would.
have an easier time believing friends to lovers will stay together because they are literally friends. Whereas enemies to lovers, I'm always like, probably not, because they hate each other in reality. Like,
Yeah.
I always have a harder time believing that they would actually be like, it's fun, but don't know.
I think just knowing like the lengths he would literally pretend to be somebody else to be with her. Like,
Yeah.
I want to be with you that bad. I would lie about being somebody else. What do you think, Natasha? Do you think they would stay together?
I think if they broke up, it would be because of her.
Yeah, I do agree with you there.
Yes.
Oh man, that man is into her. Like, there's no
Yeah.
way he's gonna like leave her. Yeah.
Mhm.
So I don't know.
She says,
I feel like they should have shown her a little bit more invested, I guess, in the friendship, maybe.
Yeah.
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 Like, there was like a moment where he asked her to dinner and she was just like, oh, but it's Friday night and I'm tired or something. Like, she kind of blows him off, and then he's like, oh, maybe like, but I have an idea. And then they kind of rearrange for lunch. So I don't know, like,
Yeah.
It's
true.
kind of one-sided.
In Well Suited for
Yeah.
Christmas, like, one of the things that's so attractive in that movie is that Mercedes is so confident, and like, she's the one that makes most of the moves on I forget his character's name, but on Franco. And I think that's very swoon worthy. And but obviously it's a different story. I'm fine with that. But yeah, maybe her to be a little confident, or just like battle with it a little bit more earlier in the movie. Be like, do I like him? Do I not? Oh, he's just a friend. There really wasn't that much of that from her.
Yeah. Because usually I feel like what they do is they will have him, all of a sudden there's this new girl that pops in and she's really interested in him. And all of a sudden you're like, but wait, look at them. Like, he looks happy. And it's like, that's when she realizes. And I was like, please don't do that. Because I don't really like when they do that either. So, but yeah, she, like, it just felt really one-sided. Like, he's such a good friend and you're not the best friend. But we're supposed to believe y'all have this like really strong friendship. So
it's true. And there never really was that moment where she's like, I don't want to ruin the friendship. That's never really happened either.
That never happened.
Yeah. I think maybe what they could have done was have added, I think, a little bit more romantic stuff with Ethan as well. Like, some near moments, and have her like really kind of be torn between these men. And I think that would be more, that will make more sense, because then we will be like, yeah, she chose him, right? But she seems all in for Rev. So it kind of like, I mean, he is Rev, but like, it can't feel good, I guess.
I agree. Well, she says there's one last box to check to tell, and that is to tell you I love you and always have. And you're right. It would feel more believable if you had seen some of that, at least a back and forth kind of a thing throughout the movie. But then they kiss, and he says, I've always loved you. And I think you know that now. And then she says, so Style and Santa, what's under the tree this year? You'll just have to wait to find out.
Is this an innuendo?
Yes.
Racy.
Are we being risque? Clutching pearls.
There is a moment in the movie where she's looking at his website, right? And she's looking at photos of his modeling. Was there a moment like that?
I feel like,
I think so, right?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Maybe she was ogling him at that point. I
Because
don't know.
there was nothing on Rafe out there, you guys.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. And that's what Adam's
this
like.
when you're gonna realize
his social security number was bogus. But I don't know why you'd have a social security number if he was from Austria. But but anyway, so this movie was just fun. I feel like that's overused expression, but it just was. It was silly. It was fun. It had great leads. And so this is the one that I would, this and obviously Christmas on Fifth Avenue last year. If I was giving advice to Up, I would say
more of these.
Yeah, more of those.
Whoever wrote these, I mean,
yes.
Avenue's based off a book, so but still.
Santa's Got Style, Paula Tiberius. She rocked it. She did a great job. So
yeah. I feel like
I
out
like-
of the entire lineup, this one gave us the most to talk about. I mean, I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like we'd just
no
be like,
question.
all the other
Yeah.
ones would be like, it was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
I like how at the beginning, the assistant keeps saying things in like, is it Spanish? And she's like, "Oh, I didn't know you're bilingual." But the assistant was saying like pretty straightforward words, like fabuloso or perfecto, and she's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were bilingual." I'm like, okay, it's quite basic, girl. Like,
Oh my gosh.
yeah. So she rocked it on the script. I think it's really
Yeah.
funny.
She did a
Yeah.
good job. We'll have to have her on sometime. Well, very good. Let us know if you're listening what you thought of the movies, and in particular Sandal Scott Style. I had it on it was my number 6 on my favorite non-Hallmark Christmas movie 2022 list. I had Sandal
What was
Scott
your number
Style.
1? Remind me. What
Well
was
suited
your
for
number 1?
Christmas.
Well suited, yeah.
Yeah.
That
I
was
just-
good. Oh God,
Franco.
Reindeer Games Homecoming. Like,
Yeah, that one was in my
that was
top 4. That was number 4. And then I had Merry Xmas number 3.
I
That
don't
was
think I
so
watched
good.
that one yet. Okay, so now I need to watch it now because I don't think
I loved
watched
it.
that one.
I don't know what people thought. But
That was another Lifetime, right?
yeah, another
Another
lifetime.
Lifetime.
Like I said, they started really strong.
They started strong.
But
All right. So what are y'all's thoughts of like now that we're out of the holiday season? I feel like this is the time where I either become a fan and like watch everything, or I don't watch anything until Christmas again.
well, I
Like,
don't
on
have
TV,
any
that
choice. I
Mystic
have to watch
show?
them, but
Yeah.
I am finding. I did find like there was something about it that Christmas Day, for some reason this year, I was just like, that was it. I was done.
You were done.
Christmas movie, like, and I had a hard. That's why I didn't finish 3 of the Up TV movies. It was just I had a hard time motivating myself after that, which usually isn't the case for me, but I did get 130 Christmas movies watched for 2020.
Wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
that's
Yeah,
a
I
new
feel like I did a
record.
good job. I
Yeah.
mean, I still have a couple to watch, and they're mostly Up TV, and I think I have 2 Lifetimes recorded. I wish that they would just. I hate to be that Debbie Downer, but maybe push them back like a week or 2 so that we're not burnt out by Christmas. Like, I don't like being done on
Mhm.
Christmas, because we still have like a week left-ish, so
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Or maybe, I don't know. There's just so many by the time
Yeah.
you get to, but they did have Hanukkah on Rye with Hallmark that last week, which I loved that one. That
That
one
was
great.
good.
So
That was good. The Kwanzaa one, I have heard nothing really good about, so I didn't watch it.
Well, the problem is they had too much conflict between the mother and daughter. That just was not for me. I don't really like fighting in these movies unless it's like really pays off. But they have this whole montage of them actually celebrating Kwanzaa with like dance and food and different things, and that was actually really fun. That was, if I was gonna pick like favorite moments of the Christmas season, that would be one of the favorite moments. That montage was really good, but so it wasn't a total loss. And Brooke Starnell, I mean, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he's a fine man.
Yeah.
Well,
I said in
always-
his fall movie that he took hot pills that day, and I'm like, yeah, he continues to he's so good looking.
I always get
And
excited
talented.
about the Valentine movie. I love the Valentine's Day movies. I always look forward to spring. So we'll
Mhm.
see.
Yeah,
We'll
we'll see. Now they're
Yeah.
call him Loveuary, which I don't know if I like that.
I don't know if I like that either. Remember, like a year or 2 ago, like they actually had like some New Year's movies, and I'm like, where's the New
Yeah,
Year's movies?
because
Like,
they
those
got rid
were
of-
fun.
They got rid of Winterfest, which makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Now it's New Year's new movies, which just basically means they can do whatever they want. Like they had the Dog Lover's Guide to Dating, which wasn't
I
great,
missed that one.
but it was like totally set in the summer. I'm just like, oh, I miss Winterfest.
Come on. Yeah. When they had the actual, I forgot, the Tea Garden girl. I think she was in it. She was in
Yeah,
it.
oh yeah, that's a good one.
Movie.
New Year's
That was
resolutions.
So good. Like,
But
come on, guys.
the Amazing Snow Maze movie. That movie almost broke me. That movie was so bad.
It was
Oh,
It was so bad. But anyway, let us know what you think of these UpTV movies, and let us know what you think of Santa's God Style, because we all really enjoyed it. And
Yes.
and so, Natasha, where can people find you?
they can find me on culturedvouchers.com. We do film, TV, books, wrestling, games, and you can find me on Twitter at Lit My Soul.
Yes. And Bree, what about you?
I am at Bree unabashedly on social media, and I co-host the Categorically Romance podcast.
Well, and we should also say that our book for our reading book in January, Sweeter Than Chocolate, Lizzie Shane, is being made into a Hallmark movie that's being released in February.
Oh,
I've never seen such a fast turnover.
Wow, yeah.
So yeah,
and it's
that'll be
it's the
fun.
last Hallmark publishing book, right? It's the final one.
Which makes me sad. Very sad.
So read it with us, guys. Read it. It comes
Yeah.
out like January 17th.
Yeah. And you can find me at Rachel's Reviews all over social media, iTunes, YouTube, and on Rotten Tomatoes. And our Facebook is back. This is so exciting. Oh my gosh. I can't believe it. Miracle. So you can find us on Facebook. And we also, and all of our social media, and we also have our patron group, which is super fun. And we are going to be having our watch along this month with James Denton, which is going to be amazing. So sign up for the Patreon. When this airs, it'll actually be that day, that night. So you can still sign up and be part. It's really cool. And we also have the merch store, which is super fun. Check that out. And if you're listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. We really help. If you're listening on iTunes, please leave your ratings and reviews. That really helps us out a lot. And if you are watching on YouTube, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We appreciate that so much. And thanks so much, ladies. This was a lot of fun. And we wish you a last Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas.
Bye.